Razor Ridge, to me, marks a noticeable jump in difficulty, and its terrain, deep caverns and tall cliffs, reflect that. Our first moments on the ridge are in Barrage, the first true cave level in the game, and a level that tips its hat to both DKC and DKC2 in its visual and gameplay themes respectively. This is part 31 of Overthinking Donkey Kong Country 3. But before we get into that, there's a bit of overworld stuff to take care of. On behalf of Blizzard, who is stuck at base camp on K3, the Kongs deliver his gift to Blue. Might be a bit late, but Blue doesn't care. He's just stoked someone remembered. So stoked, in fact, that he gives us the gift Blizzard got him, a bowling ball. Take the ball to Bazooka in Mykonos, and he'll let you use Big Bessie to launch yourselves onto the Hanging Island cave thing. Another banana bird in the banana bag. I don't know. Finally, take the mirror we bought from Bazaar, the ridiculously expensive mirror we bought from Bazaar, to Bada, who lives west of K3, and he'll give us a wrench, which will come in handy very soon. And I think that's it for now. Barrage is a strong start to the world. It's unique, moody, and probably other adjectives, but mostly it doesn't mess around in terms of difficulty. This level is one of, if not the, hardest level to date, as well as being one of the longest. And things don't get any easier as they go on. Both Razor Ridge and Chaos Core are noticeably harder than the other worlds. I mean, they're at the end of the game, so that checks out. Anyway, the level's named Barrage, but Quarks is the star here. Unlike Low G Labyrinth, you control Quarks for the entire level, making this a pretty cut and dry showcase level. And it's great. Quarks is a cool animal buddy that doesn't get his due, and his gameplay style is interesting enough to warrant an entire level for sure. Despite being very different, Barrage is, to me, the spiritual sequel to Parrot-Shoot Panic. They're even in similar places in the game, with Parrot-Shoot Panic being the 30th level of DKC2, and Barrage being the 31st level of DKC3. I also think the devs called this level Barrage because they couldn't think of a better name. Quarks is easily the star, as I said earlier, but I'd argue that Buzz isn't even the secondary focal point, because this level is the first time we meet Copter. Copter is one of my favorite add-ons to the roster. I feel like I've said that about a lot of enemies in this series so far, but it's true. Unlike Cobble or Crumple, Copter is totally unique, at least in terms of gameplay. As far as design goes, yeah, maybe, but I suspect he's an offshoot of Cutlass from DKC2. Same teeth, similar eyes, face, and general body shape. Anyway, Copter is a really cool Kremling who is one of the strongest torchbearers of the industrial theme of the Kremlings this go around, and defies physics like it's nothing. He's great. There are 36 buzzers in this level, but 32 Copters, so I feel like I'm onto something with the name being an afterthought. This has gotten way off track. Let's take a look at the level itself. There's no way to proceed from the beginning without transforming into Quarks. Go up, there's a threshold of bananas. A big thick boy of a threshold. At first I figured this was nothing. Now I feel like maybe it's there to help the player get a feel for Quarks' movement. The floaty sort of feel he has. The speed he moves at laterally, especially after flapping his wings. I don't know, could be nothing. First enemy is a booty bird, right next to a barrel, right next to a Y made of bananas. A quick refresher as to how to pick up the barrel and what to use it on. Simple, effective, efficient. And the level goes on, twisting and turning in all directions past buzzers, copters, and the occasional booty bird. Follow the bananas where you can, use the barrels where you can. Where I think the copters shine most is in controlling the pacing of the level. You can zip past buzzers, over them, under them, in between two or more, whatever. With Copter, his blades give him a lot of lateral range, so you're not getting past him in a vertical tunnel. Much of it is either following him through a passage, or waiting for him to move past so that you can jump in and race him to the other side. Sometimes you're in between two of them, sometimes you're diving into a tunnel in front of one, waiting in the middle for a second to come back down before squeezing past and out. None of this is rocket science, but it's genius in its own way. The level repeats itself, but never feels repetitive. As for the buzzers, it's the combination of red and green variants in conjunction with Quarks' barrel-focused gameplay that is how they're creatively used. That was a terrible sentence, but I tried and I just couldn't come up with a better one. Here's what I mean though. Red buzzers will often form a barrier, with Quarks having to drop a barrel through a gap between them to hit a green one, either timing it right or aiming it right. It takes what we learned in Low G Labyrinth and expands upon it in creative ways. One last thing is how, at the end of the level, you're encouraged to bounce on the final copter's head to reach the last bonus area. It's something that will come up again in future levels, and I don't know, I just think it's cool. There's a blue balloon if you go the other way too. As mentioned in the intro, this is the first true cave level in DKC3. We've seen this tile set in the ending screens of the Coral Reef levels, but they don't count. I feel like Razor Ridge should have kicked off with a cliff level, given its overall theme, but cliffs were first introduced in K3, so it wouldn't have had the same impact. One reason the cave tile set works so well at the end of the water levels is these caves are very likely near sources of water. Stalactites and stalagmites are formed from water, or more accurately, from the minerals in the water. They're often found in limestone caves, which are porous sedimentary rocks. And if you look at the overworld maps, all the cave levels are close to large bodies of water. But then again, almost all of the maps feature large bodies of water. At any rate, the cave theme from DKC has returned with a fresh coat of paint and looks much, much cooler here. That's it for part 31. Feels a bit all over the place, but there was a lot to cover and I did my best. This is honestly probably one of my least favorite levels in the entire game, but there's still a lot about it that I admire, and I think that says a lot about the game itself. Part 32 coming real soon. Thanks for watching. I feel like Razor Ridge should have clicked up. Fuck. I feel like Razor Ridge should have kicked. Fuck.